Hi guys, so welcome to day 8 of the Vegan Weight Watchers Challenge. So, it's been a little bit colder down here in Texas, which is kind of almost an oxymoron, cold in Texas really and truly, but it has been chillier. And I was thinking that this is really, really good weather for crock pot food. So I looked around at some Weight Watchers recipes and came up with one that I thought sounded really good. And this is one that would be super, super easy, which is really nice. It just takes a couple of steps. So when you go to make this soup, which if you do, it smells wonderful. My husband said it was great. My 10-year-old said it was great. I haven't tried it yet, but it smells wonderful. I will try it for you. I do think it's worth trying. So you would have this in three different steps, I guess. 1, 2, and eat. So technically 2 steps till you eat, but whatever. Anyways, so before you go to bed at night, you need to get a pound and let's see, a pound? Yeah, 1 pound of dried beans. Now the recipe called for Great Northern beans, and I had my husband just use garbanzo beans because I just wanted chickpeas in here. It doesn't really matter. You could use whatever it is that you would choose to use. Just pick a bean that you really like that's a whiter bean. So I picked garbanzo beans, pick dried Great Northern if you want to, canary beans, whatever it is that makes your heart happy, pick a bean. That's a dried bean. And then just soak them overnight. In the morning time when you get up, rinse your beans off and you're good to go. So put those in a crock pot, and then the rest of the ingredients are kind of just eyeball it. This is not something that is very, very specific. I did 4 stalks of celery, which you could use 3, you could use 2, you could use 6. I don't think that it really makes too much difference. It calls for 3 carrots or about 1.5 cups diced. I just used about half of a bag of grated carrots and chopped them just a tiny little bit more so that those were a good size. 1 onion. I did use a large onion, so 1 onion diced. Then 3 cloves of garlic, big scoop garlic. Ta-da! It does call for 1/2 teaspoon of sage. So I have rubbed sage, and I actually probably used about a teaspoon rather than half of a teaspoon. It just was a big pot of soup, and I thought half a teaspoon would just disappear in there. So I used 1 teaspoon. And then 4 cups of water. No, 6 cups of water. 6 cups of water. And in the 6 cups of water, I dissolved 2 tablespoons of Better Than Bouillon No Chicken Base. So of all the ingredients that you put in here, you have 2 points in the Better Than Bouillon. And nothing else has any points in it. So this actually, so basically you did your whatever beans you use, not soybeans, whatever beans you used, in my case chickpeas, at night. And then in the morning when you get up, you just drain them, chop up a few vegetables, stick them all in your crock pot, and you cook this on high for 8 hours. And it doesn't really matter if you cook it on high for a little bit longer than that till you get home if you don't have a programmable one. Mine is not a programmable one. I mean, I have programmable ones. The ones I used is not one of those. But anyways, it doesn't matter. Just about high for 8 hours. It would take a little bit less if you had different type of beans. Probably 6 hours would be fine for a regular bean. Garbanzo beans are really hearty, so I wanted to make sure that they were very much done. I didn't really want a crunchy bean in the soup. It didn't sound very, very appetizing to me. So, yeah. So I have a bowl of soup. Ta-da! That I'm going to take with me. I do have one of my bowls of the chili sin carne at work still. I just left it at work because I didn't eat it last night. Figured I would just eat it tonight, so I left it at work. But this has chickpeas in it and some of the broth and onions. And the one thing that I did put in here that did not call for it in the recipe was enoki mushrooms. Not a big surprise. You guys could have probably already guessed that anyway. That's very good. That is a very good vegetable bean soup. And it was super easy to put together. And it wasn't hard. You just soak beans, you chop up a few veggies, stick in your crock pot, you have food. So with this being as low in points as it is, you could definitely enjoy something with this if you wanted to, whether it's you stopped at the store and got some like baguette type bread type thing, or if you had some crackers that you really, really liked, maybe not necessarily saltine type crackers, but something maybe a little bit healthier than that, like I don't know, like a seed-based cracker, Marytown crackers or something like that. But this is really, really tasty. It is very, very good. It made a huge crock pot of soup. So that crock pot right there is an 8-quart crock pot, and it was mostly full. when I turned it on, and it's now, after my husband's eaten some, my son ate some, I have a bowl taken out of it. It's probably about halfway full still. Yeah, it's about half full still. So it makes probably like 6 bowls of soup. So you really could count it as 0 points if you wanted to, because 2 points in the whole entire thing. I'm just gonna count every bowl that I have out of it as 1 point, just to make life easy. So that's it for soup. I really think that this is something you guys should try if you're wanting something that's really easy and crock pot weather, because it's chilly out. So this soup turned out really well. I'm really actually quite pleased with the tastiness of it. So there you go, guys. I'm going to take this with me. I have my food left at work in the refrigerator, and I'm going to take a piece of fruit. So I think that I'm going to take some blackberries if there's still a package. My mom bought blackberries at Market Street, I believe, for like 98 cents for a package of blackberries. And I ate one last night and they were terrific. So she brought a few over and left them in my refrigerator. So if there's one still in there, which me and my husband and my son didn't eat it, then I'm going to take them. And if it's not still in there, then no big deal, I'll go get an apple. That will be okay too. So yeah, anyways guys, I'm gonna go pack up and get ready for work, and I hope you're having a fabulous day, and I will talk to you again in the morning. Alrighty everybody, so I am home, and let's do a recap of food. So my soup was awesome, like super, super, super tasty. Oh, I need to show you something. Hang on just a second. Okay, so I stopped at the store last night on my way to work because I need to pick up a couple of things, looking for some stuff. But anyways, when I was there, I decided I've got really low point foods today. I would really like to have some crackers with my soup. So I don't know if you guys have had these kind before, but the tomato basil, they're really, really strong. These are really good crackers, but they're very, very strong. But in a soup, they're fantastic. So anyways, I had the leftovers of my, what would you call it? Chili sin carne. So I had that, and then later I had the soup with some crackers. So I calculated to have a serving and a half, which is 22 crackers, which is pretty good. They're good sized crackers. 22 crackers was 5 points. So 5 points in this. I had 1 point in soup, so that was 6. I had tea, which was 6, so that's 12. And then my food was another 3, so 15. So I had plenty of points for today. That's not a big deal. I'm actually not hungry, so I'm not going to eat now that I'm home. I'm going to take care of some dishes and do a little household chores for a little bit till my husband gets home from dropping off the boys. And that's going to be it for me for the day. I am really hopeful. I'm thinking I'm going to make a recipe tonight with some spaghetti squash, but I'm not sure yet because my mom has a spaghetti squash and she asked me if I wanted half of it, and I told her I wasn't sure, but now I really do, but it's too early for me to call her because she's like totally a night owl, and so she's up till like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and so yeah, she's not going to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning at all. So anyways, I'll have to ask my husband later if he'll call her and ask her to bring it over, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll make spaghetti squash supper for you guys tonight, and if not, that's okay. We'll figure something else out. Alrighty guys, that's it for me for today. I hope you had a fabulous day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.